What's up, guys? So at the end of the last season, I noticed that my fridge, my three-way fridge, wasn't working. What happened was, the last night of our second last camping trip, I ended up leaving the LED strip lighting underneath my awning on all night long, and it just completely drained the battery. So when I went to plug it into my truck to tow it home, it just ended up burning all the fuses out of it. The one for the 12 volt on the three-way fridge, and the main fuse for everything else that runs the trailer directly off the battery. I went out to the store today and I picked up a few things, and I'm going to get out some tools and I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix this problem so that we're not burning propane all this summer. So before we get going, I just wanted to say we're from Ontario, Canada, and this summer 2021 we have 10 campgrounds booked as of right now, and we're trying to book some more. So we wanted to invite you along to come with us. We're going to give you a review of each park that we go to and as much information as we can. And as of early April right now, we have the trailer at home. It's opened up and we're trying to get all the maintenance done in order to get ready for all these trips that we have planned. So why don't you go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and check out what kinds of plans I have in order to get ready for this season, and then come with us on all our trips. So as you can see, this fridge has been on all night long. Obviously you can't feel it, but it is not cold at all. So we're gonna have to go ahead, take off the back, and I'll show you what needs to be fixed. Obviously, my first indication was that this is not warm at all. When the fridge is running, there should be heat coming out of here, and there's nothing. So it is definitely not working. Now what I've also done is I've gone ahead, sorry about my shadow, and unplugged the trailer here, and I've also disconnected the battery here, so there's no power running to my trailer whatsoever at this moment in time. Let's take this off and let's see what the problem really is. So hopefully you can see what I see. Let's just make sure that's off. First of all, it means nothing because the trailer's unplugged, but regardless. So down here is our problem. Look at that, how melted that is. We're gonna want to change that. We're gonna go ahead, cut this off, and replace it. This is what I believe you'll need in order to do this job. You may not need the heat gun, but I'm sure that we're obviously gonna need this fuse connector. Now if you want to pause that, I ended up getting this at Walmart. Hopefully you all can read that. And then some fuses, and then there's some connectors here that we may or may not need. And if not, we'll end up taking this back. But it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So we're gonna go ahead and buy it just to make sure, keep the receipt, some tape, a screwdriver, snips, and a nice sharp knife. Now because of where this is, I was thinking I might be able to get in there, and if you look, it's a little Phillips head, and I might be able to undo that screw and wiggle a new one in. Now my concern is this wire is smaller than the wire that I'm going to be replacing it with, so I might not be able to fit that in there. So in here I managed to get it out. I undid the two Phillips heads, and right there I can undo that with a small standard screwdriver and loosen that up so I can fit a bigger wire in there. So whoever hooked this up, they went from such a large wire. I'd say that's almost like a 10 gauge, and we're already dropping it down to a 12, and they had it into what I believe is a 16. There's no markings on this wire or this red wire, but what I don't want to do is go that far down for 4 inches of wire. So I'm just gonna hook this directly up to there and then put it back to where it originally went, and we should be okay. Alright, that actually went a little bit better than planned, and I like the way I got rid of this wire. Now let's put a fuse in it and hopefully it'll work. Now when it comes to fuses, just remember, in a pinch you can always go smaller amp but never bigger. You're risking a fire if you go bigger. And when it comes to wiring, you shouldn't go smaller because you're risking a fire. I was just editing this video and I realized that because of the way that small wire was, I'm going from the 10 to the 12 as opposed to the 10 gauge wire all the way down to, I believe that was like a 16. So since it's been working that way for God only knows how many years, I think I'll be fine. In this case, I got to use a little discretion, and I don't believe I'll have any issues in long term because of the 12 gauge wire being bigger than the previous wire that's in there. So if you can read it, this was at one point a 10 amp fuse. So in there, obviously, we have a 10 amp fuse. Now all there is to do is plug it in and see if it works. So it's been a couple hours and this is nice and cold, which is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And right now I only have it running on 12 volts, so we know that that fuse is working perfectly. That's exactly what we want to see. Now we know that that 12 volt fuse was the problem. When I plug my trailer into my truck, it's going to keep my fridge nice and cold on the way to wherever I'm going, and when I do have it plugged into shore power, the fridge is going to be nice and cold. So I'm very excited about it. I'm hoping that we're going to have a lot of fun this summer and we'll have some nice fresh food to go there. Three-way bridge. Three-way bridge. Now. If you're from Ontario. I'm an idiot. No. Blah, 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 blah. I have a chair. More of these little maintenance. Doing more maintenance? Yeah. No. And as of right now, in April, early April, blah, blah,